I've tried as hard as I can to put my thoughts about what I saw at the Game Awards into words, but honestly, words still fail me. I think I screamed myself hoarse watching the Sonic reveals. You know, the Sonic movie sequel and the upcoming Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers. Everything is going Sonic's way right now, and I'm just gonna tell you this, 2022 is gonna be the year of Sonic. Nobody else is gonna hold a candle to him. Go ahead and clip this if you want and quote me later on. I'm sure, but I'll be right. I posted my live reactions to both the Sonic Movie 2 and Sonic Frontiers in case you haven't checked them out yet, but that alone isn't nearly enough, is it? We have so much to talk about for both of these amazing things coming up for the Blue Blur, so it was only right that I provide you with discussion videos and maybe some additional information that you might not have been privy to in the first place about what we can expect from both of these things. First in line though, it's gonna be the next mainline Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers, which is being described as an open zone game. I think that's clever, honestly. We've always referred to the stages in Sonic's games as zones rather than, you know, worlds or anything like that. So open zone is perfect. Nice one, Sega. Sonic isn't known for wasting time, so why should we? Let's go ahead and get straight to unpacking the recent trailer for Sonic Frontiers. Chaos Control! So as the Frontiers trailer opens up, we see Sonic running through the same forested region that we'd glimpsed back during Sonic Central, only this time we see his face in full rather than half of it. I don't know why they hid half of it in the first place, because as iconic as he is, how would you not know what he looks like? Unless Sega was thinking of giving him a design overhaul, but after a certain fiasco that happened 7 years ago, and I don't need to be specific as to which one that is because I think you already know what I'm talking about, I don't think they're gonna be so eager as to go that route again anytime soon. So yeah, Sonic's going through the forest that he's clearly not supposed to be in, as he's being pursued by what looks like a dust cloud. I first thought it might be the drill whip that's mutated into something horrifying. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not the drill wisp at all. In fact, I don't think the wisp are going to be involved in this game, interestingly. As Sonic continues running, it sends out 3 robots of a design that looks nothing like what you would expect from Eggman, which makes things all the more mystified. It looks like Eggman's no longer going to be the big bad of the next Sonic game. We're going to get something else entirely. But likes of what we'd glimpsed in Sonic Adventure or Unleashed maybe? Perfect Chaos of Dark Gaia? Boy oh boy, this feels refreshing. But yeah, it sends out these 3 robots, and as they're about to close in on him, Sonic hears the voice of the ghost girl that's been mentioned in a handful of Frontiers leaks, consistently calling out to him. She says, "Sonic, over here!" Sonic takes notice and immediately takes a sharp left, but just as he does, the robots crash behind him, sending him flying in a burst of pinkish energy. And call me crazy, but when Sonic comes into contact with this energy, it appears to give him those after effects that he leaves behind whenever he runs at top speed. You know, that trail of cyberized blue energy or something like that? I thought that might be the residue of Wisp energy, like what we've been used to seeing by now for a decade. But no. The more I think about it, the more I think that the pink energy from the robots crashing into one another might have actually given Sonic a brand new ability. That's an interesting theory to think about, isn't it? Sonic finally escapes through the forest, finds himself on a cliff. He then slowly turns around and takes in the entirety of the Starfall Islands, the official setting for the storyline of Sonic Frontiers. And bro, I had to stop abusing the replay button for the trailer because, oh my god, words cannot describe how amazing the place looks. And the leaks were definitely proven true because they commonly describe this island as a combination of gloomy and beautiful, and it definitely fits both of those themes. Wow, bro. The Sonic series has always been known for delivering on superb soundtrack, and thanks to both Lopes and Tomoya Ohtani, the Sonic Frontiers trailer continues to live up to that tradition. And yes, Lopes did help compose the music for the trailer for Frontiers alongside that of Tomoya Ohtani. That has gotta be an honor in itself. If you play Sonic Mania, you're already familiar with the work of Lopes, which has been nothing short of phenomenal. So yeah, I was really hyped when I found out that he had a hand in making the music for the trailer. Unfortunately, he won't be composing for the game itself, which really sucks, but hey, with Tomoya Ohtani holding the reins, everything is gonna be under control. In the leaks beforehand, Sonic Frontiers was commonly described as an open-world game, taking inspiration from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And from what we get to see of the Starfall Islands in the trailer itself, that comparison holds up very strongly. Now, as long as they don't throw in a stupid weapon durability system that they incorporated into Breath of the Wild, I'll be just fine. I don't know why they ever thought of that, but I'd like it to stay gone. But the Sonic series isn't really known for making characters that use weapons, Shadow the Hedgehog aside, of course. So that's most likely not going to be a concern. Besides, we're talking from a visual standpoint, and boy does the trailer succeed in that department. The Starfall Islands consist of a variety of environments that's sure to take your breath away, perhaps fittingly given the game that it takes inspiration from. We get treated to vast grassy plains, beautiful waterfalls, caverns, even a part of the islands during the nighttime, which confirms that a day-night cycle is going to be a thing in Frontiers, and that alone is one of the most exciting aspects of Sonic Frontiers for me. The day-night cycle seems like such an insignificant detail to take note of, but honestly, it made games like Ocarina of Time and yes, Breath of the Wild all the more captivating to me. So I'm really happy that they're doing this. I've been a sucker for playing through stages in a nighttime setting, so I always imagine what places like Angel Island and Green Hill Zone would look like during the nighttime. And we did get a glimpse of that Sonic Adventure, but only for Angel Island, and it was at a hub area rather than a playable stage. But you know, I'll take whatever I can get. The one thing we were looking forward to seeing the most about Sonic Frontiers at the Game Awards was the gameplay. But sadly, we were left feeling empty-handed there. We got no gameplay whatsoever, and I'm mildly concerned about that for reasons I'll bring up later. But halfway through the trailer, it seems to cut to an up-close shot of Sonic's in-game model standing atop a slab of stone staring out over the Starfall Islands. It's also here that you get a look at two towers, one directly in front of Sonic, and another one further out to his left, which further lends proof to the fact that this is going to be a group of islands where Sonic Frontier will take place, instead of just one island, hence the name Starfall Islands as in plural. And I'm really intrigued by that. But after Sonic's model, wow, do y'all see how the lighting interacts with him? This is nothing short of incredible, and this alone tells you they spared no expense with how they were producing this game. Bruh, this is awesome. However, I will say this, the model looks very close to how Sonic looked in Sonic Forces, and I can't say I'm a fan of that. Not simply because this model is attached to a game with a questionable reputation, but also because I simply don't like his quills on the shorter side, and that was a huge drawback to his Forces model. Speaking of short, they seem to have cut back on the size of his footwear as well, whereas in the Sonic Central teaser, his footwear looked a lot closer to the style of Sonic Adventure, and I was really looking forward to them rocking with that model for the game, but looks like they're not gonna do that, and it really sucks. But I did like the model seen in the cutscenes, and obviously I'm gonna like this one as well. Just not the way I would have preferred it, but hey, I can make do. I really don't understand though. They've had years to work on this game, and yet no gameplay was shown at the Game Awards? Like, why? Think about it, Sonic in an open zone game? This is absolutely revolutionary, and had they shown any of that, it definitely would have been a huge selling point with this trailer. More people who watched it would have been telling themselves, wow, this is what this game's gonna be about, I'm so ready for it. Instead of being like, wait, that's it? Tell us more please? I mean, I'm somewhere in the middle when it comes to that. I feel I have a very good idea of what Frontier is going to be about, but at the same time, I want to know more. Lots more. So to top things off, the trailer cuts right back to Sonic running through a grassy plain towards imminent danger, as an unseen threat is casting a shadow over him, likely the very same thing that was chasing him through the forest. As Sonic makes eye contact, he hears a ghost girl's voice speaking in his head again, saying, "Don't! It's too dangerous!" But Sonic disregards the warning and prepares to face down the imminent danger when the trailer cuts to the title Sonic Frontiers and the release date, Holiday 2022. Finally, the trailer cuts right back to Sonic's confrontation with the unseen threat, which proceeds to make itself seen. The gigantic tree robot thing that was alluded to in the leaks leading up to Frontiers. Only this time, it has a name. A Titan. And apparently, this is just one of a handful of robots guarding the Starfall Islands from whatever. And then the trailer ends there. Now first of all, how is it we know that the Starfall Islands will be the setting for Sonic Frontiers? Well, the official website is how. You remember the website we discovered a week before the Game Awards rolled around? The one that gave you an access denied message when you went to the link frontiers.sonicthehedgehog.com? Well, that website is now live. When you go to it, you'll be greeted with a home page for Sonic Frontiers where you'll get to subscribe to a newsletter that will provide you with updates on the game as things develop. You'll also get the release date, a link to watch the trailer, and a brief summary of Sonic Frontiers. So let's take a look at it. Worlds will collide in Sonic the Hedgehog's newest adventure. An experience like never before, accelerate to new heights and experience the thrill of high-velocity, open-zone freedom. Bro, the more I read the words open zone, the more hyped I get! Yeah, battle powerful enemies as you speed through the Starfall Islands, landscapes brimming with dense forests, overflowing waterfalls, sizzling deserts, and more. This holiday 2022, speed into new realms. And then you see a collection of screenshots taken from Frontiers, and seriously bro, I cannot believe that these are screenshots from a Sonic game. Of all things, there's just no way. Like, ever since Sonic Unleashed, we haven't had a Sonic game that has looked as good as Unleashed up until now, it looks like. The way things are going, this game could knock Unleashed off its throne as the best looking Sonic game out there. But of course, that's from a cinematic standpoint. From a gameplay perspective, I'm curious to see if that holds up as well. And if we did see a shot of Sonic's in-game model during the trailer, then the chance of that are looking mighty good. Especially considering that this game is going to be released on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which are currently the leaders in next-generation visuals. PC gaming aside, obviously. Now, I want to go back to the release date real quick because I gotta say, it took me by surprise. You're seriously telling me this game is a year away from releasing? With the apparent amount of effort that went into this game? I'm still not so sure about that because if you think about it, Holiday 2022 is still a tentative release date. It's just a little more specific about which quarter of the year the game will release. So it could be October, November, or December of next year. Most likely December to capitalize on the rise in sales due to, the holidays. But there could still be a delay happening like there was with Team Sonic Racing. I think it was slated to release during a similar time period at first, and then it got pushed back to May of 2019. And with so many good things happening for Sonic next year, like Sonic Prime, the Sonic movie sequel, and how well he's doing in the comics right now, and then with Sonic Origins, the re-release of the Sonic Classics, I would really hate for Frontiers to flop alongside all that, especially given it'll be Sega's first title from the next generation consoles, not counting Sonic Colors Ultimate as that is a re-release for all intents and purposes. So all in all, a release date for Frontiers isn't set in stone yet, and for me that's good news, because the lack of gameplay in the Frontiers trailer has been commonly cited by fans as a concern, and I share in that concern. The Force debut trailer in 2016 had no gameplay to show either, and well, we know exactly how that story ends a year later, don't we? Mania, the other game that would be shown off that year, did have gameplay set to go when it was first revealed, but I can't really lend significance to Mania for that fact because it's primarily a gameplay-centric game, so I would think they'd have gameplay set to go when they pulled back the curtain. Not a fair comparison to make here, is it? But the point is, I don't want the lack of gameplay in the Frontiers trailer to be a sign that we're headed toward the same situation as that of Sonic Forces. And I do want to apologize here while I'm bringing it up. I'm not trying to aggravate any Forces fans, I really am not. Anybody's welcome to watch my videos regardless of whichever Sonic games they like. I have no issue with that. I'm definitely not one of those people that goes like, oh, you like this game or that game? You dumb as hell, bro. Because putting it simply, that's stupid. You can respect anybody regardless of their taste in Sonic games. It's really not that difficult. You're a Sonic fan regardless of whichever games you like, in my book. But in spite of my concern, I'm still overly excited about what Sonic Frontiers promises to bring to the table, especially considering all the additional information that we learned since the trailer dropped. So, we're gonna dive into that information right now! When the Frontiers trailer dropped, quite a number of articles were shared to the internet. But for this discussion, I'm going to refer primarily to the post from Polygon because of something else that we'll bring up later. We already know that Sonic Team Japan is handling development for this game, and now we know specifically who is leading the project. Producer Sachiko Kawamura, who's always handled things on the visual side of the Sonic series since Sonic 3D Blast in 1996, and director Morio Kishimoto, who's also directed Sonic Forces and Sonic Lost World. It's no secret that Sonic's games have always looked great visually, and now you know who you have to thank for that. Also worth noting that Sachiko Kawamura is also the former director of Bachao Gardens from both of the Sonic Adventure games. And Bachao Gardens are one of the most beloved features in any Sonic game. They have yet to make a return, but they've left a lasting impact that is still felt today. So the fact they haven't returned in any capacity is astounding. The director, on the other hand, gives me cause for concern. And if you'll remember, I expressed my distaste for forces, so you know why that is. And Sonic Lost World fared no better in that department. Both of my 2 playthroughs of that game were not the best of times. The first playthrough I can blame on inexperience because I was still getting accustomed to modern Sonic's moveset. Like, get this. Once I went through the whole game without stomping even once. So when I got to the final encounter with Zavok, I struggled to figure out how to get through that boss until I suddenly learned how to stomp. And to think it almost cost me a game over just to reach that conclusion. So yeah, that was me being a dummy. But the second playthrough, once I got fully adjusted to his moveset, was hardly any better. Frozen Factory soured my overall outlook on the game, and of course a very untidy storyline holding it together didn't help matters either. So I mean this very respectfully, but the director of Forza and Lost World being involved with Sonic Frontiers is enough to make me worry. But hey, Sachiko Kawamura might be around to help balance things out, and for all we know, this could be a redemption arc of sorts. Maybe enough lesson we'll learn from both Forza and Lost World to ensure that the same mistakes are not repeated with Frontiers. That's what I want to hope anyway. Now here's a bombshell about Sonic Frontiers that you're absolutely gonna love. The story is being written by none other than Flynn, the head writer for the IDW Sonic comics! Oh my god, this is awesome! This marks the start of a new era right here, folks. We're looking at an awesome storyline for a Sonic game. Something we haven't had for the past decade. Sorry Sonic Colors, as much as I love you, your story sucks and left a lot of room for improvement. I think Rise of the Wisp did give you a redemption arc though, if we're being fair, but yeah, the point stands. So Flynn coming into the picture made me breathe a huge sigh of relief, and looking back at the trailer, it makes sense the way it played out. He definitely had a hand in that, that's for sure. I am so looking forward to seeing what he's got coming up for us in Sonic Frontier. He's gonna do great. I'm not fully caught up on the comics yet, but I strongly recommend them to you guys because they are awesome. The last issue I read for IDW is the 9th issue, and my fondest memory from his work is how he integrates the events of previous Sonic games into the IDW storyline. I'm not going to name which games though, that's for you to figure out, as I wouldn't want to spoil anything for you. And I'm pretty sure he's referenced more games since the 9th issue. More than sure, actually. And going back to the lack of gameplay, it may not stay that way forever, because Takashi Iizuka mentioned that he's excited to share more about Sonic Frontiers in the coming months. Most likely, this will include gameplay. And let's face it, we all need it so badly! Now, there is a reason that I specifically brought up the Polygon article for this video. It's because of an unintended leak that appears to be related to the Frontier storyline, although it has since been edited out of the article. But Twitter really is a magical thing, as it's known to keep things like that archived for future reference. So, thanks to SSF1991, we've got this leak in the Polygon article to check out. Let's take a look. In Sonic Frontiers, Sonic's longtime nemesis Dr. Eggman discovers an ancient technology on the Starfall Islands and installs his AI program Sage to hack in and take over. But there is more to this technology than he realizes, and unintended consequences immediately come to bear. Sonic must race against time to discover the truth, save his friends, and maybe even save himself at the same time. Well, first of all, this confirmed that Dr. Eggman will be involved, but apparently he's not going to be the big bad of the next game, which will be very refreshing as he's been hogging the spotlight for like the past decade now. I miss the days when we had different final bosses instead of just Eggman. Not that Eggman is an unwelcome addition to the lineup, but it's nice to switch things up once in a while. And then there's the fact that his AI program is called Sage. Sage. Anybody else thinking that this might be a reference to the existence of the Sonic Amateur Games Expo, a yearly convention that celebrates the existence of Sonic fan games, or fan games for other franchises, indie or otherwise? If so, this is another example of how much Sega loves their fans. I mean, that's part of why Sonic Mania exists in the first place. You know? So, if this is where things have come full circle, then the people of Visage Expo must be really proud of themselves, and rightfully so. Either that, or this is one huge coincidence. They probably intended it as a respelling of the Sega logo when they decided to name the AI program Sage. But nah, this looks a little too deliberate for that to be the case. I bet they could have gone with Aegis instead, and then I definitely would have found that more believable. After all, to be this good takes Aegis, right? Now, there's one last bit from this leak that I want you to pay attention to. The one where it mentions how Sonic must race against time to save his friends and save himself. Saving his friends being the key phrase here. The reason why this is so important is that this will tie into what we're going to be addressing next. And get ready, this may blow your minds. Let's go back to the voice of the ghost girl from the Sonic Frontiers trailer. The Xbox YouTube channel reposted that trailer and included captions. So when you turn on the captions and you fast forward to the first instant where you can hear the ghost girl's voice, it's given a name. Amy. As in Amy Rose from the Sonic franchise? Now, wait a minute here. There is no way that I can be reading this correctly, right? Are we implying that Amy is the ghost girl of Frontiers? It's her? And given that she's commonly described as a ghost, bro, that means she's dead! Amy? Dead? Any of the Sonic mainline characters actually being dead? No. There is no way that this can be happening right now. Sega, I remember how you guys trolled us into thinking you were going to kill off Sonic in Sonic 06, and then you brought him back afterward. So why should I believe that this is going to be any different with anybody else in the cast? You kill off any of the mainline cast, you may as well be shooting the franchise in the foot. And seriously, you've been known to do crazy things, but I can't imagine that you would repurpose Amy as a ghost? Why would you do that to her? No! Why would you do this? Why would you do this? But this is where things get more grim for our girl in pink. The Japanese voice actor Junichi Kanemaru made a Twitter post about the Frontiers trailer that has since been deleted. In that post, he links the trailer and also directly identifies Sonic and Amy Rose in hashtags, only he spells Amy's name as E-M-I rather than A-M-Y, but take my word for it, they are very much the same character. And then the post was deleted minutes later. So, yeah, the jury is out. The ghost girl really is Amy. I don't believe this. At the very least, you guys could have recycled Tikal because she was known to be a ghost from the past, but you use Amy, of all characters. Just like that, the Frontier storyline has taken a darker turn than I had anticipated. I mean, that was part of what I had expected when Ian Blinn took over for the storyline, but this was to a much greater extent than I was ready for. No way. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to process this. But this is where things get confusing, because in addition to Xbox's repost of the Sonic Frontiers trailer, they also released a follow-up video detailing all of their reveals at the Game Awards. Because Sonic Frontiers is among the games that will be released for their consoles next year, that's included in the video. When you skip ahead to Frontiers, and you get to the part where the ghost girl's voice can be heard again, this time they're not given a name, they're referred to as the ghostly voice. So this suggests one of two things. Either Amy being identified as a ghost girl was a mistake that Sega wants to clean up, or, just like with the Polygon leak, this was a leak that needed to be plugged up. I don't know which it is at this point, but I so desperately want to believe that this is a mistake. And if that really is Amy's voice, then I have a theory as to what really happened. When Sonic and his friends arrived at the island, his friends were trapped in a parallel dimension the second that the mysterious new technology inhabiting the islands woke up. I mean, if you go back to the trailer, you can see these mysterious altars all over the island. You know, that have the circular tips at the top. If you remember from the Frontiers leak, they mentioned something about portals leading to cyberspace levels where you can collect rewards. I want to think that these altars lead to those cyberspace levels, assuming that leak holds up. And if that's the case, they might also take Sonic to where his friends can be rescued. But of course that does leave the question, how exactly did Amy, or whoever the ghost girl is, establish a telepathic link with Sonic? Amy herself has never been known to have telepathic abilities like that, so something seems to be going on here. Maybe it's an ability she picked up on in cyberspace, or it's a property of the island, or something? Bruh. all of these questions and we're not gonna get any answers to them for almost a year from now. It hurts! Good God, dude, this is just a lot to unpack from a trailer, isn't it? We're slowly getting more and more reasons to be excited for the release of Frontiers, though I'm really not sure if I want to know what happened with the Ghost Girl now, because the more I think about it, the more depressed I get. It's just horrible! But let's try to get our heads back on straight because we're not done with this video just yet. While browsing Twitter, I came across this post by fellow Sonic tuber, Matt Has No Cuts. These appear to be concept leaks for both Sonic Frontiers and a possible sequel to Super Mario Odyssey, which sounds awesome. Matt, in turn, first came across these images from watching two other Sonic tubers, Twip and Jeremiah, who were the first to let us know about these concept leaks, so many thanks to them for covering this, and also thanks to Matt for sharing the images. Now, something to note is that these concepts were first drawn up in 2019, so they could have been changed or discarded entirely during the next 2 years of development, but a large amount of these were already proven true by the Frontiers trailer, so the rest of them are looking to be just as accurate. Also, I'm not going to reference a potential Super Mario Odyssey leak in this video because within the Sonic channel, we're focusing exclusively on Frontiers right now. This first concept leak appears to go over the single player mode for Frontiers, so we're going to read this off first. Bear in mind, a large part of it was either already confirmed by the trailer or referenced in previous leaks, although those leaks are looking to be pretty accurate themselves, so I'm quite confident about this. But yeah, here we go. A new free-roaming action-adventure game that propels the Sonic franchise in a bold new direction. The evil Dr. Eggman has created an amazing AI entity that has spiraled out of control. Meanwhile, Sonic wakes up, groggy and suffering from amnesia, with questions aplenty but few answers. The Sonic Universe characters you love, 4 exotic islands to explore, skyscraper-sized Titan boss battles, adventure through vast terrains, and explore the Starfall Islands. New close combat system and unique powerful moves to take down enemies. Go supersonic mode to battle massive skyscraper-sized enemy titans, strengthen skills and level up Sonic's abilities. Solve puzzles and embark on quests across 4 exotic islands and hidden something, it cuts off here. Thrilling graphics, cinematic music, and immersive atmosphere to create, again, something, it also cuts off here. You know what's amazing? When the game was first named Sonic Rangers, unofficially, cause you know, metadata from the Sonic Central teaser, 2 previous leaks were brought to our attention shortly afterward, and they all happened to reference the same things that were named off in this list of items in the concept leak. Adventuring through the Starfall Islands, the close combat system, leveling up Sonic's ability with a skill tree like what was mentioned before, supersonic mode for battling the skyscraper-sized titans, embarking on quests and solving puzzles, and the last item was a given, thrilling graphics, cinematic music, and whatnot. And propelling the Sonic franchise in a bold new direction, I'm gonna hand it to Takashi Iizuka. He was on point when he said that this game would be just as revolutionary as Sonic Adventure, and we haven't even seen any gameplay yet, so for me to be this confident in the game already, that speaks volumes. But here where things get mysterious. Sonic wakes up suffering from amnesia? You know, I find this likely because I've always wondered, what exactly was the reasoning for the storyline taking place at the Starfall Island? Like, what guides Sonic and his friends to it? I could buy the fact that they were chasing Dr. Eggman to the islands, as that's definitely a valid reason, but what causes Sonic to suffer from amnesia? Is it when he and his friends get ambushed and then his friends get captured and thrown into cyberspace, and Sonic gets knocked out somehow? Maybe kind of borrowed with Sonic Generations, only that time he didn't wake up with amnesia, he knew what was going on and knew what he was after. But Frontiers looks like entirely uncharted territory. And another thing that lends to this is the fact that we don't see Sonic smiling once during the Frontiers trailer. Not once. That's new for him, so if he is suffering from amnesia, we could be seeing new takes on his personality and therefore a deeper depth in the storyline, which I'm really excited about. I can always appreciate vastly different interpretations of Sonic, as that's the magic about him. You can interpret him in so many different ways, and they almost always work. Kinda like the Joker from the Batman franchise. And yo, check this out, this concept leak also mentions Super Sonic, who was also referenced in previous leaks. Some that would pop up years after this was first drawn up in 2019, by the way. So it means 2 things. The Chaos Emeralds are going to factor into Frontier somehow, and Super Sonic himself is going to be relevant to the story campaign once again after being practically benched since Sonic Generations. Woo! That is awesome! I've missed the Golden Boy so much. I could not believe that he'd been all but irrelevant for the past decade. When you discount Sonic Mania and Sonic Colors Ultimate, that is. But the fact that Super Sonic is coming back is hype! Now we just need Hyper Sonic and all will be right with the world again. And strength-based skill level of Sonic's abilities, this strongly suggests that the skill tree leak is true as well. I'm really curious to see what they do with that, and the side quest? Hopefully, they have quality that's not unlike that of a side quest in Zelda Majora's Mask or heck, maybe the Batman Arkham games. Both of those games have instilled in me an appreciation for side quests. To have side quests in a Sonic game, something to think about, isn't it? And 4 exotic islands. What is this now? Termina Field? Yeah, you should probably expect a lot of Zelda comparisons now that Sonic of the Wild is an actual meme. All in all, this concept leak is very promising. The other one, however, does make me raise my eyebrows. Now, I can't read through this whole concept leak as it cuts off on the left, but the gist of it is, you join Sonic and his friends as you fight against Dr. Eggman while collecting gadgets that enhance your powers, your speed, and your health. Weekly rankings are tracked by the new Supersonic ranking system, and the better you perform, the more you win special skins for characters. You can play as Modern Sonic, and well, the C cuts off here at the right, but it might mean Classic Sonic because of the mention of perilous platforms. But one good thing I took away from the Frontiers trailer is that Classic Sonic was nowhere to be found, so if that was planned out as a concept, I don't think it held up at all. And that's good because it's time for Modern Sonic to learn how to hold his own again. The nostalgia pandering was fun while it lasted, but it's time to move on. Then again, the character's name starting with C could be someone else entirely, but again I can't tell because it cuts off at the right. You also partner up with Knuckles and Tails to combat over 100 new enemies and play through 12 different stages, I'm guessing, from what I can read here. And they've introduced 3 brand new characters in multiplayer: Bobo, Cosmos, and Spinner. This is why I'm hugely skeptical about this leak. I highly doubt that Sega would draw upon the Sonic X anime or the Sonic comics for characters to add to the mainline Sonic games. There's a reason why you never see Sally Acorn or any of the Freedom Fighters in the mainline Sonic games. I don't think it would be any different with Sonic X as much as I would love to believe otherwise, so at the moment I suggest taking this leak with a grain of salt. Now the single player leak, I feel you can trust that one because of how much of it was proven true already. Oh, and there's also a picture of Sonic here. It looks like a hybrid of movie Sonic and in-game Sonic because of the few sparks of electricity that you see around him and the fact that he looks a bit more realistic. Interesting. I would have loved to see that picture in full. Well guys, that's everything that we know about Sonic Frontiers, or everything that I know about it so far anyway. Now that Sega has finally pulled back the curtain on the game, it won't be long before they have more to say about it. Or if other leakers will come forward to share whatever it is that they know, and as a lot of them were proven accurate, I have less reservations about taking their word for it. But as always, I'm taking a cautious approach with that sort of thing. So now, my final thoughts on what we know about Sonic Frontiers. My small handful of concerns aside, I do believe that this game will indeed be as revolutionary as Takashi Iizuka himself said that it would. I think that this could be the huge turning point that the franchise needs. A game that is sure of what it wants to accomplish for itself. Something that I didn't think I'd ever say about a Sonic game from the last few years, Sonic Mania aside. It feels refreshing to have this degree of confidence in a Sonic game again, even before its release. The lack of gameplay is concerning, but it shouldn't be long before they had that ready to share as well. After all, years of development went into this game. I'm sure they have taken their time to fine-tune it. It's also great to see my favorite character embracing a recent trend in video games that has been seeing remarkable success, namely the open world gameplay style, or open zone as Sega is now calling it. Games like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Unleashed have only barely scratched the surface of what a full-on open zone Sonic game can achieve, as their open world elements mainly consist of area hubs that allow the player to access additional stages. But with Sonic Frontiers, we're taking a full-on dive into open zone Sonic, and I am deeply excited to see how that turns out. I never mind the boost gameplay formula all that much, but it's very refreshing to make a return, or it feels like a return, to adventure-inspired elements. It won't exactly be a Sonic Adventure game, as Sega has always been known to reinvent things, but I feel like inspiration will be taken from the adventure games regardless, what with the storyline being written the way it is and all. And frankly, 2022 is going to be an amazing year. It can't get here fast enough, or at least the holidays of next year can't get here fast enough. I'm still anticipating a delay, but it is good to know that we are getting very close to the end of a long, agonizing wait for the next mainline game. Now we just need gameplay to study so we have a better idea of what to expect. This is the most excited I've been for a Sonic game in a long time, and I was excited for Colors Ultimate seeing as I had just become a Colors fanboy, but this is unprecedented. I just hope that Sega continues taking a careful approach, but not so careful that they end up limiting themselves too much. I want them to cut loose again, basically. Be as innovative as they were with Sonic Adventure, for example. And if they do that, the Sonic Frontiers is going to shape up to be a fantastic game. Anyway guys, that's everything I have to say about Sonic Frontiers, but if you stick around at this channel, you can be sure that I'll have more updates to provide about the game as they become available. Till then, thank you for watching and for being patient with me while I worked on this video. I know it's been a long time coming, but I'm doing the best I can, don't worry. And I will also make an analysis video of the Sonic movie sequel trailer very soon. Watch out for that. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, let me know your feedback with those likes and comments down below, as they are always super helpful. If you enjoy Sonic content, you might consider subbing to this channel and ringing that bell to stay up to date. As I am a Sonic enthusiast, and well, all I post about is Sonic, so that's what you can expect from me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments down below how excited you are for Sonic Frontiers, and I'll see you next time. Take care, don't forget, blue blurs for life. See you later.